4, 5, Angie's Top 5, yeah!
Hi everybody! Today's topic is my top 5 underrated Disney movies of all time. Number 5 is a Goofy movie. Now, I don't know how many of you have seen this movie, but it's one of my favorite Disney movies. And the reason why is I feel like it's a really good coming-of-age movie. It really tells the story of Max and his father Goofy kind of learning who each other are and who they themselves are. Because you've got this young boy who all he wants is a girlfriend and to be popular and have everybody love him. And you've got Goofy who all he wants is his son to love him and respect him. And I feel like Goofy really doesn't even realize the problem that he's facing is he's losing his son, which is something that I think a lot of parents can kind of relate to. And then you've got the kid who, they want to be a grown-up, they want to be an adult and go off on their own. They don't want to listen to their parents anymore. They think they know everything. Everybody has, at least I think most people have that situation where you learn to accept each other, you and your parents. For me, it was a little later in life, but going back and watching a Goofy movie is just very nostalgic for me because it reminds me a lot of my relationship with my parents and, things that we went through. And I think it teaches a really important lesson that kind of gets lost in the fact that nobody really wants to watch it because who cares? It's just Goofy being Goofy. And it's not. Number 4, Hunchback of Notre Dame. I feel like this movie gets a lot of dirt because it's not a typical Disney movie. And I think that's why a lot of people don't really like it. But how about try to enjoy it from that standpoint? It's a Disney movie for grown-ups. It's not very childish, the gargoyles do some jokey stuff, but it's really serious and really heavy and really dramatic. And amazing because of that. They're not afraid to tell a story for adults in animation. How often outside of Japanimation coming into the US do we really get a movie for us that's animated? You've got this amazing villain in Judge Claude Frollo who is horrendously evil. He is disgusting. Oh my god, the things that he does just make you cringe. He's terrifying. And then you've got, Esmeralda and her representation of this society of people that aren't accepted. You really get to see how she and her people cope with that, which is very powerful and I think really very relatable for a lot of people. I don't know if you're a gypsy living in 1800s France, whatever, having to deal with that, but just in general, being someone who has a tough time being understood and accepted and finding a way to be proud of yourself and love yourself despite that. And then you've got Quasimodo, who's going through the same thing, raised his whole life to think that he's going to be hated and feared if he ever left his home. So he spends his entire life being completely introverted, terrified of himself and society and the people around him, and winds up finally having to come to terms with that. Having people finally accept him is, I think, it's just very inspiring. The music in that movie, oh my god, it's completely different than any other Disney movie. It's operatic and just, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. You guys if you haven't seen it, watch it. Seriously, as an adult, just enjoy a great movie. It's really good. Number 3, Treasure Planet. I've actually met some Disney people in the past who Treasure Planet comes up and they're like, oh, Treasure Planet. That crap. Why? It's so good! You've got a really solid main character that children can relate to and that they can aspire to be like and they can learn from. And then you've got this story that we all read when we were kids in a new way. And it's put together really well. And the characters are told in very simplified but really solid, understandable terms. They even managed to tell the story of Long John Silver really well. He's so torn through the whole movie. And to be able to make that so understandable for even a young, I remember seeing it as a kid, and I was torn watching Silver. I could tell that he wanted the gold and he wanted to be bad and he wanted to just hate everybody and tear everybody apart, but he was so connected to this random young boy that he just couldn't, it changed him, you know? And I just feel like it was told really well. You've also got Captain Amelia, who's freaking awesome. She's like a cat alien thing. She like leaps all over the place and she's just like super sexy, just gorgeous and like badass and she's captain of a ship, whatever. She's awesome. Guys, watch it just for her. Watch it 1,000,000 times just for her. Also, the movie's really good. Oh, also, like, you're gonna sit there and argue, oh, it's Treasure Island, I've seen it 1,000,000 times, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. You don't like 2D movies, you like the 3D movies, maybe. Maybe you're the new, like, oh no, I like Pixar and Shrek and like Kung Fu Panda and whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but here's the thing. Treasure Planet was the first movie to integrate CG into 2D. A lot of that movie is CG environments and CG ships and aspects. Long John Silver is completely half and half. He's like a 2D animated body, but like his eye is CG and his leg is CG. So if you are someone who's in that direction of, oh, I like the CG movies better, watch it just out of respect for the fact that that was the first movie to really push the boundaries of the capabilities of CG and 2D and just animation in general. That's a pretty cool thing and a pretty important milestone for the animation industry. And I feel like the movie just deserves more respect. Number 2, Brother Bear. I feel really bad for Brother Bear, guys. The movie is so good. It's so emotional and sad and inspiring and beautiful, and nobody cares because Home on the Range was awful. And it was the last cell animated 2D Disney movie. The press releases were, this is the last. We're never doing a 2D movie ever again. We're moving to CG. I cried for months when that movie came out because I knew it was the end. It was like, you know what? I love Disney so much. I miss 2D. I gotta do it. I gotta just, I'll rent it. I'll see what it's all about. And I loved it. The animation is stunning and the environments that they created are beautiful and the characters are relatable and the things that they go through are just devastating and uplifting and inspiring. It's got these great lessons in it about assumptions and the effect that you can have on the world around you and how you might not even realize it. Guys, it's really good, and even if you don't care about it being good, go rent it from Blockbuster or Netflix or something. Just give some respect to Disney animation. It's the last cell animated 2D Disney movie. Like, come on. Number 1, Atlantis. What? It's got these amazing integrations of CG environments and CG aspects with 2D animation. The designs are totally different than anything I've seen in other Disney movies. It's very like boxy and industrial, and especially with steampunk being so popular right now, I do not understand how this movie hasn't had a resurgence. It's like written for steampunk fans. There's a lot of characters in that movie. There's a good like, I don't have time to count. There's like 6 to 8 maybe like major characters that are in the movie through the whole thing. So there's someone for everyone to be able to relate to. There's this like super sexy blonde lady who's like a total like seductress type. She's so hot. And then there's like the tech head girl, the like car mechanic girl with her crazy frizzy hair. And then you've got the like explosions expert guy who's all like French or foreign or whatever. He's got this crazy accent. He just wants to blow stuff up. Then you've got the creepy like kid-friendly, like jokey, like mole character who like digs everywhere. And you've got the doctor who's like jokesy and fun. It's just great. It's great. There's great characters, and the world of Atlantis is beautiful. Oh my God, it's so pretty. I loved the idea of this like technology-free, almost magically oriented tribal environment. And hey, sci-fi fans out there who aren't watching this movie for some stupid reason, did you know they actually developed an entire new language for that movie? It's an hour-and-a-half animated Disney movie for kids. They developed an entire language written by the guy that did all of the languages for Star Trek. It's a kids movie, guys. Like, they could have just had the Atlanteans just be like, and nobody would have cared because it's just a kids movie. But they actually took the time and bothered to develop a whole language, written and spoken. That is so cool. I mean, like, freaking James Cameron gets to be a big deal because he wrote a whole language for Avatar. Screw Avatar, guys. Come on, Atlantis is awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. Please go rent these movies. Check them out. If you like them, let me know. If you don't like them, let me know why. Check out my other videos in the top 5 series. Please, please, please feel free to suggest other topics for top 5s. I've gotten some great suggestions so far, and I'd love to hear more. Let me know what you're thinking of the series, watch my other videos, check them out, and keep loving Disney. Because I love Disney so much. Love it with me.